The streets of paper stars. Long ago, when I was young, night after night, I folded tiny paper stars. I sold them under the bright street lights. I did this so my sick father could breathe. This is my story. My name is Liam. I live with my father in a small room. Our room is at the top of a tall old building. The city is big. The city is loud. But our room is quiet. It is a sad kind of quiet. My father is sick. His breathing is not easy. At night I hear a sound. It is a soft, wet sound. It is the sound of his lungs. They are tired. They are weak. Every breath is hard work for him. The sound fills our small room. It makes my heart feel heavy. I love my father very much. He is a kind man. Before he was sick, he told me stories. He told me about the stars in the sky. He said each star is a happy memory. Our room does not have many happy memories now. My father used to work. He painted walls in big houses. He came home with paint on his hands. He smelled like clean paint. He always smiled, but now he does not work. He stays in bed most of the day. His hands are pale. His smile is gone. He looks tired, so very tired. The doctor came to our room once. He was a tall man with a serious face. He listened to my father's chest. He shook his head. He said my father needed medicine. He needed a special machine to help him breathe. The doctor said the machine was expensive. We did not have money. We had very little money. The doctor left. The sad quiet came back. I felt very small. I felt helpless. What could a small boy do? I wanted to help my father. I wanted to see him smile again. I wanted to stop the sad sound of his breathing. One day I was looking in an old wooden box. It was my mother's box. My mother passed away when I was very young. I do not remember her face well. But I remember her hands. Her hands were always busy. She made beautiful things. Inside the box I found colorful paper. There was red paper, blue paper, yellow paper. It was thin and soft. I also found a small note. It said, "For my little star, Liam." Under the note, there was a tiny paper star. It was perfect. It was folded so neatly. I remembered then, my mother taught me how to fold these stars. She called them wishing stars. Make a wish when you fold one, she used to say. The star will hold your wish. It will keep it safe. I took out the colorful paper. I sat on the floor next to my father's bed. He was sleeping. I took a piece of blue paper. I started to fold. My fingers were clumsy at first. The paper did not want to bend. But I remembered my mother's hands. I remembered her soft voice. Slowly, a star began to form. I folded the last part. I made a wish. I wish for my father to breathe easy, I whispered. I held the small star in my hand. It was not perfect like my mother's, but it was my star. It held my wish. I made another star, a red one. I wish for my father to be strong again, then a yellow one. I wish for my father to smile again. Night after night, I folded stars. My fingers hurt. My eyes felt tired. The paper cut my skin sometimes, but I did not stop. I thought about my father. I thought about his smile. Each star was a tiny prayer. Each star was a tiny piece of hope. I filled a small glass jar with my paper stars. The jar looked like a small galaxy. It was full of colors. It was full of my wishes. One morning, my father was worse. His breathing was louder. He coughed a lot. His face was very pale. I felt a cold fear inside me. The wishing stars were not enough. Wishes were not medicine. Wishes could not buy a breathing machine. I looked at my jar of stars. They were beautiful. They were full of hope. But hope did not make money. I needed money. That day I made a decision. It was a scary decision. I was just a boy, but I had to do something. I would sell my stars. Maybe someone would buy them. Maybe someone needed a wish too. That evening I took my jar of stars. I took a small old blanket. I put on my warm coat. My father was asleep. I kissed his forehead. "I will be back," I whispered. I walked out of our small room. I walked down the many stairs. I walked out into the big, loud city. The night was cold. The wind was strong. The street lights made long yellow shadows. People walked fast. They did not look at me. They were busy with their own lives. I felt very small. I felt invisible. I found a place under a bright street light. It was near a busy corner. I put my old blanket on the cold sidewalk. I placed my jar of stars on the blanket. I made a small sign with a piece of cardboard. It said, "Wishing stars, 1 for a coin." I sat down and waited. My heart was beating fast. What if no one stops? What if they laugh at me? I felt my face get hot even in the cold air. Many people walked by. A man in a suit looked at me for a second, then looked away. A group of young people laughed as they passed. They did not see me. I was just a small boy with a jar of colorful paper. The wind was getting colder. I pulled my coat tighter. My hands were freezing. I wanted to go home. I wanted to go back to our quiet room. This was a stupid idea. No one wants to buy paper stars. I was ready to pack my things. I was ready to give up. But then, an old woman stopped. She had a kind face. Her hair was white like snow. She looked at my sign. Then she looked at my jar of stars. "What are these, little one?" she asked. Her voice was soft and warm. "They are wishing stars," I said. My voice was very quiet. "You make a wish and they hold it for you." She smiled. It was a beautiful smile. "And what are you wishing for?" she asked. I did not want to tell her. I did not want to be a sad story. But her eyes were so kind. I looked down at my shoes. "My father is sick," I whispered. "I am saving money for his medicine." The old woman's smile became softer. She reached into her purse. She took out a few coins. She did not take just 1 star. She took 5. A blue one, a red one, a yellow one, a green one, and a white one. She put the stars in her pocket, then she touched my cheek with her cold hand. "You are a good son," she said. "Never lose hope. Hope is the brightest star of all." Then she walked away. I looked at the coins in my hand. They felt warm. My heart felt warm too. Someone had stopped. Someone had cared. I was not invisible. I stayed a little longer. A young woman bought a star. A man bought 2 for his children. I did not sell many stars that night, but I sold some. And that was enough. When I got home, my father was still asleep. I quietly put the coins in an old tin box. I hid the box under my bed. It was not much money, but it was a start. It was my start. So my new life began. Every day I went to school. Every night I went to the street corner. I sat with my jar of stars. Some nights were good. I sold many stars. My tin box became heavier. Some nights were bad. No one stopped. I went home with cold hands and an empty heart. But I never gave up. The old woman's words stayed with me. Never lose hope. I met many people on the street. I saw many faces. I saw sad faces and happy faces. I saw tired faces and busy faces. The city was a river of people, and I was a small stone in that river. One night I heard music. It was a beautiful, sad sound. It was a violin. I looked around. An old man was playing the violin on the other side of the street. He had a long gray beard and a kind face. He played with his eyes closed. The music was his story. He saw me sitting there every night. Sometimes he would nod at me. I would nod back. We were both part of the night. We were both trying to make something beautiful in a busy world. One very cold night, I was not selling any stars. I was shivering. I felt very lonely. The old man finished his song. He packed his violin. Then he walked across the street to me. "It is a cold night for selling stars, little boy," he said. His voice was deep and gentle. I nodded. "Yes, sir." He sat down next to me on the blanket. He did not say anything for a while. He just looked at my stars. "They are beautiful," he said. "They look like frozen music." I smiled. "I like that. Frozen music." "My name is Alex," he said. "What is yours?" "Liam," I said. We talked for a long time that night. I told him about my father. I told him about the medicine. He listened carefully. He did not look sad for me. He looked proud. "You have a big heart, Liam," he said. "Your love for your father is a powerful thing. It is more powerful than any medicine." From that night, Mr. Alex was my friend. He would play his violin near my spot. His music brought people, and some of those people bought my stars. He would share his warm tea with me from a metal flask. He told me stories of the city. He told me that hope is like music. You cannot see it, but it can fill the biggest, emptiest spaces. I did not feel so alone anymore. My tin box was getting fuller, coin by coin, but my father was not getting better. The medicine helped a little, but the doctor said he needed the breathing machine. The machine was still too expensive. I started to feel desperate. I folded more stars. I stayed out later. I was tired at school. My teacher asked if I was okay. I just nodded. I could not tell her my secret, the secret of the paper stars and the sick father. The weight of it was all mine. I felt like I was running a race against my father's tired lungs. And I was losing. The hope the old woman gave me, the hope Mr. Alex talked about, it felt far away. The city felt big and cold again. My stars felt like just small pieces of paper. One night, it started to rain. It was a cold, hard rain. The people on the street ran for cover. The streets became empty. I was alone under my street light. The light made the raindrops look like falling tears. Mr. Alex had gone home early. "Go home, Liam," he said. "No one will be out tonight." But I could not go home. I needed to sell just one more star, just one more coin. I sat under a small shop awning. The rain dripped on my blanket. My jar of stars was getting wet. I felt so sad. I wanted to cry. I put my head in my hands. It was all for nothing. I had failed. My father would never get his machine. He would never breathe easy. A tear rolled down my cheek. It mixed with the rain. I was ready to go home. I was ready to accept my failure. Then I saw shoes, expensive, shiny black shoes. They stopped right in front of me. I looked up. A woman was standing there. She was holding a big black umbrella. She was wearing a beautiful coat. She looked like she belonged in one of the big houses my father used to paint. She looked at me. Her face was not kind. It was not unkind. It was just curious. She looked at my wet blanket. She looked at my jar of sad, wet stars. "Why are you out here in the rain, boy?" she asked. Her voice was sharp, but not mean. I did not know what to say. The whole story felt too big and too heavy to tell. But I was so tired. I was so sad. The words just came out. "My father is sick," I said. My voice was shaking. "He can't breathe well. He needs a machine. I sell these stars to make money for it." I pointed to my jar. "They are wishing stars." The woman looked at me for a long time. The rain was the only sound. I thought she would walk away. I thought she would tell me to go home. But she did not. She knelt down. She was very close to me now. I could see her eyes. They were a deep brown, and in them I saw something change. The curiosity became something softer. It became understanding. She looked at my jar of stars. She reached out a hand with a gloved finger and touched one. It was a small green star. "How much for the stars?" she asked. "1 for a coin," I whispered. She stood up. She opened her handbag. She took out her wallet. I expected a few coins, maybe a small bill, but she took out many bills, many big ones. She pushed them into my hand. It was more money than I had ever seen. It was more money than was in my tin box. I stared at the money. I stared at her. "But this is too much," I said. "You only touched 1 star." She smiled, a real warm smile. It changed her whole face. "I am not buying 1 star," she said. "I am buying the whole jar. I am buying all the wishes you have made." Then she said something I will never forget. She said, "Your love for your father is the real star here, Liam. That is what I am buying." She closed her umbrella and walked away, disappearing into the rain. I sat there, holding the money. It was not wet. She had kept it dry. I looked at the jar of stars. Then I looked at the money. My hands were shaking, but this time it was not from cold. It was from joy, a huge, overwhelming joy. I packed my things. I ran home. I did not care about the rain. I felt like I was flying. I ran up the many stairs. I burst into our small room. My father was awake. He looked at me, worried. "Liam, you are all wet. Where were you?" I could not speak. I just held out the money. I opened my hand. The bills fell onto his bed. His eyes grew wide. He looked at the money. Then he looked at me. "Liam, how?" he asked. "The stars," I said, breathing hard. "I sold the stars." That night, my father held me for a long time. We both cried, but they were not sad tears. They were happy tears. The quiet in our room was gone. It was filled with the sound of hope, a real, touchable hope. The next day, we bought the machine. It was a small white machine that made a soft, whooshing sound. A sound of air. A sound of life. That night, my father slept with the machine. I sat and listened. The sad, wet sound of his breathing was gone. It was replaced by the soft, steady whoosh of the machine. It was the most beautiful sound in the world. My father got better, slowly but surely. The machine helped him breathe. The medicine helped him heal. And maybe the love from the paper stars helped him too. He started to smile again. He started to tell stories again. Our small room was filled with light. I did not have to sell stars anymore. But sometimes, on a quiet night, I sit by my window and fold one. I fold a star not for a wish, but for a memory. A memory of cold nights and kind strangers. A memory of a violin and a woman with an umbrella. I learned something on those streets. I learned that the world can be hard. The world can be cold, but it is also full of light. It is full of unexpected kindness. It is full of music and stars. Maybe you feel small sometimes. Maybe you feel like your problems are too big. It's okay to feel scared, but you are stronger than you think. Your heart is full of light. Your hope is a powerful thing. It is your own paper star. Don't be afraid to fold it. Don't be afraid to let it shine. You never know who is waiting in the rain to see it. I hope this session was helpful. Please like and subscribe to our channel for more such interesting stories. Take care, everyone.